All right, today's home connections assignment is page 123 and 124, obviously in your home connections book. Okay, you're going to be working with fractions, and this is going to be a skills review. So the skills review part is nothing that we haven't gone over, and today you're going to be working with a line plot, which is what we did in our lesson. So refer back to our lesson if you need any clarification. All right, rope climb results and skills review page 1 of 2. Here's your scenario. Your PE teacher has challenged your class to climb a rope. There are 8 blue pieces of tape equally spaced. Here are like the 8 blue pieces of tape. Here's where you would have them. There are 8 blue pieces of tape equally spaced and wrapped around the rope to mark off the distances. The following results represent the goal levels that were reached by students in your group. So here are where all of your students placed. Okay, so number 1, you're going to display the data on the line plot below. Enter the rest of the goal levels below on the heavy line. Okay, right there. Make an X above the heavy line to represent each student in your group. Give your finished line plot a good title. Okay, so what you should notice at the top, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 students. What you're going to do is you are going to label the options that they had to get. If you notice, we start here at 1/8 and we end at 8/8. So what that means is, okay, if you only made it to this piece of tape, you climbed 1/8 of the rope. If you made it all the way up here, you climbed 8/8. So you have to label what's in between there. So if you have 1/8, what would be next? Then what would be next? All the way to 8/8. Think about it. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. The first is 1/8 going all the way up to 8/8. What would make sense that this one would be? If you have 1/8, then you add another 1/8, so on and so forth. And then you're going to mark, you're going to go back once you've labeled your pieces of tape, okay? Once you've labeled that, you're going to put each fraction, you're going to give each fraction an X. So if you see 1/8, okay, you're going to put an X right above 1/8. I would then cross off each fraction you've plotted so you don't mark them again. Again, before you're done, you have 11 students here. You should have 11 X's on your line plot. Okay? Don't forget to give it a good title. That's important. Every chart needs a title. Once you've created your line plot, then you have a few questions to answer. 2, how many students stopped at the 3/8 line? So you're going to count wherever 3/8 is on here. How many students got to that goal? 3, which goal did the most students reach? Okay, remember that's like our mode. How many were most often? 4, how many students touched or went past 3/8? So you can count 3/8 and higher. So how many students touched 3/8 or went higher? 5, what is the total distance combined for climbing the rope? So what that means is if you added up all these fractions, how high did all the students climb together? I will give you a hint. If you can find combinations to make 1, that will be the best way to go. So number 5, you're going to figure out what the total combined climbing distance was for every student. Then you're going to go to page 124. Okay, this is skills that we have been working on. So, you're going to, for number 6, solve 216 divided by 6. It says use a ratio table or an area model to solve the problem. So I want to see an area model or a ratio table to solve that problem. Number 7, we did this a lot. Kevin says that 6/10 is the same as this 6/10. Do you agree or disagree, and why? I'm going to be looking for y. Remember, if you tell me I agree because they're equal, you did not prove anything. You have to prove why or why not. Okay? Number 8, you're going to write each of these fractions as a decimal. Remember, how you read your fraction should sound exactly the same of how you read your decimal. So for example, this is 4/10, and I read this 4/10. So it's going to be very important that you say your fractions and your decimals out loud. Okay, so this is 5/10. Your fraction or your decimal should read 5/10. This is 3/100. Your decimal should read 3/100. Number 10, you're doing just the opposite. You're writing each decimal as a fraction. So what you hear, I hear 31/100. That's what I should see, 31/100. If you hear 9/10, that's what I should see as a fraction. And then your last problem, number 11, you are just filling in the blanks with a greater than or equal sign. 2/3 greater than, less than, or equal to 3/4. Now, you might want to draw your rectangles of equal size and split them up into 2/3 and 3/4 and compare. Okay, compare. Also, you should know, like let's look at 7/10 and 75/100. You should automatically know what 7/10 is in hundredths because we've done that many times. But if you don't, draw them out and compare each fraction. Good luck. And remember, your homework is due 2 days after it was assigned. So please make sure you're looking at your due date because the teachers are going to be looking that you have it completed by that date. Good luck. Remember all of the strategies and skills we've learned in the past and do your best.